Questions to the keepers from a listener. What is the truth behind the multiple moon landings starting with Apollo 11? Did it really happen? Or was it a global psyop? And if so, what was the agenda behind it? Has mankind really been to the moon? If so, what happened when they arrived there? Answer. We receive this question with reverence, for it touches a pivotal turning point in human collective perception, one shaped by truth, illusion, and silent agreements. The story of the moon landings is not simple, and it was never meant to be. It is a layered event, containing elements of reality, deception, and intervention. Let us now speak to each layer with care. Did the Apollo 11 moon landing really happen? Yes and no. The Apollo 11 mission launched, and a form of contact was made with the moon. However, what was broadcast to the public in its entirety, particularly the first televised landing and moonwalk footage, was heavily altered, with some elements staged on Earth in controlled environments. This was done not solely to deceive, but to maintain narrative control, conceal what was truly encountered, avoid public exposure to extraterrestrial markers and anomalies. So, while the mission was real, the full truth of what occurred on the lunar surface was withheld, replaced with sanitized or simulated media to maintain a version of events that could be digested by a Cold War-era public. Has mankind truly been to the moon? Yes, multiple missions reached the moon, both within and outside public knowledge. Some landings were publicly acknowledged, Apollo 11 through 17. Others were covert military or private enterprise ventures, especially from the late 1970s onward, and still others occurred under the direction of off-planet alliances, where select Earth humans were transported to lunar bases already in existence. What happened when they arrived there? When early astronauts arrived, they encountered artificial structures, not of human origin, anomalous electromagnetic fields, evidence of prior habitation and observation, and in some cases, non-human presences who made it clear that Earth-based operations would be allowed only under specific conditions. These presences were not overtly hostile, but firm in their boundaries. There were warnings, there were agreements made, and there was a silent moratorium on full disclosure to prevent mass panic, geopolitical destabilization, and premature technological exposure. This is why the moon has since been treated as both sacred and restricted by Earth authorities, a site of scientific curiosity on the surface, but a place of deep secrecy beneath. If it was partially staged, what was the purpose of the psyop? The psychological operation aspect of the Apollo landings had multiple goals. Control the narrative of space discovery, ensuring that Earth governments, particularly the US, appeared to be the leading force in space, rather than admitting non-human intelligence had long preceded them. Redirect public consciousness from wonder and spiritual curiosity toward a more militarized, nationalistic approach to space. Mask the existence of secret space programs, which were developing parallel to the public missions and would soon surpass them in both scope and technology. Create a mythic moment to unify and pacify the public, giving people the sense that humanity had reached the stars, even though true interstellar contact remained hidden. So what is the moon, really? The moon is an artificial satellite, partially natural but modified and positioned with intentional mathematical and energetic precision. A monitoring station used at different times by Lyran, reptilian and Syrian groups, among others. A memory reflector influencing human biological rhythms and consciousness. And currently, a neutralized zone, still holding active frequencies, but no longer fully controlled by the old regimes. There are structures still present, some abandoned, some dormant, and some still lightly monitored by off-planet observers. Why does this matter now? Because humanity is once again approaching the moon, and the veil around it is thinning. More questions will arise, more disclosures, partial and true, will come. And those who already feel the truth stirring within them will be called to help translate that truth with steadiness and clarity. You do not need to believe every story, but you are right to ask deeper questions. And in doing so, you begin to remember. To the listener who asked, you are not merely curious, you are activating a memory, and that memory will continue to guide you, not just toward answers, but toward your role in the story yet unfolding. We remain beside you, always, in truth, in clarity, and in the living light.